And electoral participation sweep and mark the opening.
Systematic Voters Education and Electoral Participation Program gi matangda Thorum gi Chief Guest Sri Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Chief Secretary, Manipur na photo exhibition hangdok pikre.
Now I request our Chief Guest Sri Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary Manipur, to kindly take the seat on the dais.
Ngasigi ningsingningai oiraba taraganithoi suba National Voters Day gi Thorum gi dais ta lengsing binabagi damakta Chief Guest Sri Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Guest of Honor Sri P. Dongwell, IPS, Director General of Police. Sri Lekhogen Haukif, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Sri Paulunthang Baifai, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Luenga na Sri Vumlumang Volnam, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur bu. Daista lengsin binabagida magta nolok na ningsing jari.
A very good morning and a warm welcome to all of you ladies and gentlemen. I, on behalf of the Chief Electoral Officer Manipur, would like to extend a warm welcome to our respected dignitaries, invitees and all to the 12th National Voters Day 2022, celebrated on the theme, Making Elections Inclusive, Accessible and Participative. To proceed on with the program, I would like to request Sri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Chief Electoral Officer Manipur, to kindly honor the personalities by affixing the badges and also to kindly present the bouquet and the lengyan respectively.
Thagachuri Mathang Sidi Taraganithoi Suba National Voters Day English Singani Kunganithoi gi Thorum gi Mera Chukhat Pinabagi Damakta Thorum gi Chief Guest Sri Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur bu Nonlukchari. Luenga na Dais Lengsing Biriba Guest of Honor Singbusu Thorum gi Mera Chukhat Pasida Sarukya Binaba Ingsingjari.
It's time for the lighting of ceremonial lamps, so I request the respected dignitaries to kindly come forward for the lighting of the lamp of the 12th National Voters Day 2022. Please, sir. Additional.
Welcome address Peter to Kanano.
Welcome. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much, sirs, for lighting the ceremonial lamp. To deliver the welcome address, I would like to request Sri Naurem Praveen Singh, IAS, Additional Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Taramna Okpa Warol Pibinaba, Additional Chief Electoral Officer, Government of Manipur, Sri Naurem Praveen Singh, IAS po, noluk na kasanjari.
On behalf of Chief Electoral Officer Manipur, I extend my warmest welcome to Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary to Government Manipur, for sparing his valuable time in joining today's observation of 12th National Borders Day. It is with his sustained patronage that the electioning process, including today's observation of the day, is being taken up smoothly and effectively. I also welcome Sri P. Dongle, Director General of Police, Manipur, for accepting the invitation and participating in the observation of National Voters Day 2022 celebrations, and more importantly, in a view of forthcoming State Assembly election 2022, scheduled on February 27 and 3rd March, respectively. I am also pleased to welcome Sri Letkogin Haukip, IAS, Sri Wi-Fi, IAS, Sri Bulmang, IAS, Additional Chief Secretaries to Government of Manipur, for sparing time, despite their busy schedules, for coming and participating in today's function. It's my pleasure to welcome Sri Rajesh Agrawal, IAS, Chief Electoral Officer Manipur, under whose able leadership, not only in preparing for today's celebrations, but also in preparing for free, fair, and smooth conduct of forthcoming elections, the State Assembly elections. I also welcome all invitees, students, electors, who are the pillars of democratic essence of the country. People in the country. Once again, I welcome all who are here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri Naurem Praveen Singh, IAS, Additional Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, for delivering the welcome address. Now, I would like to request the President of today's program, Sri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS, Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, to kindly deliver a speech on the occasion.
A very good morning to all of you. Chief guest of today's function, respected Chief Secretary Dr. Rajesh Kumar, guests of honors of today's function, DGP Manipur, Sri P. Dongal, Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, Sri Letkhoging Hokip sir, Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, Sri Paulung Thang Wi-Fi sir, and Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, Sri Mumlung Mang, all my colleagues from the government who are gathered here today in the auditorium, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 12th National Voter Day, which we celebrate on the occasion of formation of Election Commission of India. Election Commission of India was formed on 25th January 1950, just before we went on to become a republic. Since over last 72 years, the entire electoral process in this country has gone from strength to strength. We have moved from ballot to EVMs, and now we have also moved on to VVPATs, where we can not only make our electoral system electronic, but we can also check its credibility. We have moved to a situation where people used to walk or travel 10 to 20 kilometers to exercise their franchise on a poll day, to a situation where now every voter can have a polling station within 2 kilometers of its residence. We have moved from a situation where elections were spread out in one constituency also over days, to a situation where the entire constituency, the elections can be held in just one day. We have moved to a situation where countings used to take 2 to 3 days, and the results used to come out after 2 to 3 days of counting of ballot papers. Today we have got a situation wherein the entire counting process can be completed in a matter of hours. The whole electoral machinery, with the change of times, has moved from strength to strength. And today, the focus is now not only on the credibility of the whole electoral process, but also on how we make it more inclusive, more participative, more accessible for all our voters. India is one of the biggest democracy, is the biggest democracy in the world. And fortunately for India, we achieved universal adult franchise on day one of our being democracy. All big democracies across the world took years to reach this milestone of having universal adult franchise. But in India, we did it from day one, because I think our forefathers, our architects of Constitution, recognized the importance of every voice being heard, whether it's a voice of a rich or a poor, whether it's a voice of a rural or an urban Indian, whether it's a voice of an educated or an uneducated citizen of this country. Every voice mattered, and that was factored in from the day one of our democracy. This is the strength of our democracy, and together now we are moving towards a stretch wherein we are talking of making elections a true festival of democracy. Making elections in India a true festival of democracy, wherein every voter not only actively, proactively participates in the electoral process, but also enjoys the whole experience. Today the effort is to enable them make informed choices. Today you just say that today the Election Commission talks about different IT platforms like Know Your Candidate, wherein you are entitled to, as a voter, know everything about your candidate before you go out to vote. This was something we never talked about 10 years back. But today, every candidate has to publicize its criminal antecedents, his property detail, asset detail, qualification, everything, and that will be now on a click of a button to every voter. So the Know Your Candidate app is being publicized. Today we are talking of bringing in every kind of voter to the electoral process, like PWD app, where every physically differently abled person who might find it difficult to come out and vote on a poll day to register oneself through this PWD app, and also access various provisions that Election Commission has made, like treating them as absentee voters and giving them rights to vote from the comfort of their home through postal ballots if they are not in a position to come to the polling station on the poll day. This is where our democracy, this is how we are moving from strength to strength. In Manipur also, I'd like to inform the August House, last 6 months, the entire election machinery, whether it's CO office, whether it is district election officers, EROs, ROs, or my block level, booth level officers, everybody has been working tirelessly to ensure that how we can make this ensuing general elections to the Legislative Assembly of Manipur, which are going to be held on 27th of February and 3rd of March, how do we make them more inclusive and participative? And as a result of all the hard work that has been put in by the entire election team, I am happy to inform that today we are in a situation where we have the highest elector population ratio we have achieved in the state of Manipur. We stand at 57.7%, which is the highest achieved so now. And this has been because of the effort of our election team and the entire machinery that we have been able to enroll more than 88,000 voters during the summary revision in the month of November 2021. In addition, we have shown sensitivity to the entire electoral process and improved the overall count of differently abled voters, PWD voters, from 7,500 odd in our electoral rolls to 14,565 today. It was nearly a jump of 100% in a matter of 2 months. And I think this endeavor should not stop till we are able to get every PWD voter registered on our electoral roll and marked on our electoral roll. As an effort of all the entire team, we have been also able to bring in transgender brothers and sisters as a part of electoral roll and identify them so in the electoral roll. And we have also been able to enroll more than 40,000 80 plus voters in the electoral roll. Today, with the help of the state administration, we have been able to provide assured minimum facilities at all the polling stations, all the 2,959 polling stations in the state, and it has been entirely possible due to the support given by the state administration in the leadership of our respected Chief Secretary. So I think together we have been working tirelessly to see how we make this election more inclusive by bringing in more and more voters under our electoral rule. I think the first part of the job has been done. Now, as we are entering into the last month of actually going to conduct a poll in the state, I think we need to carry on our effort and see that how we are able to bring all those voters that have been registered in the electoral roll on the poll day. We should not leave any stone unturned to ensure that this time the overall turnout of voters is historic in spite of COVID pandemic looming large over our shoulders. We should make arrangements at every polling station in a manner where every person who comes out to vote can vote in a manner that he or she feels safe during this COVID pandemic. He can have a COVID-safe elections. At the same time, we should also reach out to each of we should make a pledge this time, all the DOs, all the ROs concerned who are maybe present here, that we should make a pledge this time that all the transgender brothers and sisters who have identified themselves as voters for this elections, we should ensure 100% of them vote on the poll day. We should also ensure that 100% of our centennial voters, voters who are 100 plus, come out and vote on the poll day. That will be the true success of our democracy. We should do that, and we should pledge today on the National Voters' Day that we'll achieve, as together as a team, we'll achieve these milestones as we go for the assembly elections in end February and March, early March 2022. With these words, sir, I'll also like to inform the dignitaries present on the dais and my colleagues in the House that to incentivize and to motivate the entire election team, we had announced an award program in the month of October 2021, where we had pledged that all our officers, one BLO from every assembly constituency and the top 5-6 electoral registration officer and top DOs will be awarded on National Voters' Day based on their work for the summary revision of electoral rules and overall sweep campaign taken across the state. I am happy to say that today we have come out with a list of such worthy awardees. Each one of you have done a great job. All who have not been able to find their name in the list also have done good job across the state. And together with your efforts only we have been able to achieve this milestone. My congratulations to all the awardees, and I hope this does not end with the award. We carry on this effort and actually together the team elections achieve the milestone and objectives that we have laid before ourselves. With these words, my felicitations on the National Voters' Day to each and every one concerned. My felicitations to all the electors of this state, and my appeal to all of them, please come out and vote on the poll day in a free, fair and ethical manner. Look forward to seeing you all on the poll day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thauramga mari leinaba wafam kaya thambirambagidamag Thagachuri, Chief Electoral Officer, Government of Manipur, Sri Rajesh Agrawal.
Now, I would like to invite Sri Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, the chief guest of today's function for administering of National Voters' Day pledge. Please, sir. And I request everyone to please rise up for the pledge.
We will now take National Voters' Pledge. We, the citizens of India, having abiding faith in democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and the dignity of free, fair and peaceful elections, and to vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by considerations of religion, race, caste, community, language, or any inducement.
Thagachuri, Thauramgi Chief Guest, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Galwingana, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Taraganithui Suba National Voters Day, English and Ani Kunganithuiga, Kunganithuigi Wasak, Mayam Puna Kwe Lominakre.
Now we have a message from Sri Susil Chandra, Chief Election Commissioner, Election Commission of India. The video of the message will be played, so I request everyone to kindly have a look on the screen.
I am delighted to convey my compliments and warm wishes to all the voters of India on the occasion of 12th National Voters' Day. This day pays a glowing tribute to each and every voter of the country and highlights the immense value of everyone's vote. In many parts of the world, the right to vote was achieved after a long struggle. In India, the right to vote was granted to all adult citizens at the same time when India won her freedom. This right is precious. You must exercise it and exercise it judiciously. Your presence at the polling stations is a source of inspiration. Democracy thrives and flourishes when voters queue up on election day, cheerfully waving their epic cards, patiently waiting for their turn to vote. India's election system is one of the best in the world, and you, dear voters, are its very heart and soul. This year's NVD is even more special as it marks 70 years of Indian elections and a celebration of 75th year of India's independence. 7 decades ago, the first general election was conducted in the country with 17.3 crore voters. The first election was truly an act of faith with few parallels in the history of humankind. Since then, the Election Commission of India has firmly marched on the path of democracy, and together with voters, we have endeavored to deliver elections that are not only free and fair, but also inclusive, accessible, participative, and festive. With this sentiments, the theme for NVD 2022 is making our elections inclusive, accessible, and participative. Conducting elections in a country as large and as diverse as ours is always a challenging task. As on date, we have over 95.14 crore voters across the country, out of which 49.04 crore are male voters and 46.09 crores are female voters. Amongst these registered voters, there are 1.92 crore senior citizens aged 80 plus, 81.39 lakh persons with disabilities, 19.24 lakh service voters, and 1.37 crore newly registered voters. However difficult the situations might be, the voters have always reposed faith in the institution of Election Commission and enthusiastically participated in every election. I am happy to share with you some historic electoral reforms that have been effected this year. On the recommendation of Election Commission of India, few crucial amendments have been enacted to the Representation of the People Act. The first of these amendments facilitates registration for all our young voters 4 times in the year. Earlier, young voters could be enrolled in the voter list only once, that is on 1st January of the year. Now, with this amendment, any citizen attaining the age of 18 years can be registered on any of these 4 dates, that is on 1st January, 1st April, 1st July and 1st October of a year, and can exercise voting rights. Next is linking of voter identity card with Aadhaar, which would help in weeding out duplicate entries in the electoral roll and further purify the poll. For the past 2 years, the impact of COVID-19 made the conduct of elections extremely challenging. We had to conduct elections in a manner that protects both the voters and the vote. We embarked on this arduous journey with the support and confidence of India's 95 crore voters. Elections to 6 state assembly, besides many by-elections, were conducted in this period with full health and safety measures in place. Once again, the determined Indian voter, with unflinching faith in the democracy, defied naysayers and skeptics and came out in ever large numbers to vote in all elections held during the pandemic. This Voters' Day, we salute each and every one of you. The Commission interacted with global election community on the protocols for conducting elections during pandemic. India is the chair of Association of World Election Bodies, which has members from 108 countries. Many webinars and international virtual election visitors program were organized in order to share our best practices and initiative with the world. More than 100 capacity building programs have been organized so far by Election Commission of India for nearly 2,000 international participants, especially from the new and emerging democracies of the world. We truly believe that it is the equal participation of all categories of voters that makes elections meaningful. ECI provides special facilitation for women, persons with disabilities and senior citizens for a comfortable and pleasant voting experience. The Commission has brought polling stations to the doorstep of voters, and the option of postal ballot facility has been extended to all those voters who are senior citizens, aged 80 plus, persons with disability and those who are COVID affected. The Commission has leveraged technology to enhance transparency and make election services more voter friendly and easily accessible with apps like Voter Helpline. Another one is C-Vigil, which ensure swift action in case of violation of Model Code of Conduct. The latest one is Know Your Candidate app, which provides voters with information about candidates, including the criminal antecedents, to enable voters to make an informed choice. Recently, general elections for legislative assemblies of Goa, Manipur, Punjab, Uttarakhand, and Uttar Pradesh were announced. Elections are being conducted in 690 assembly constituencies, reaching out to 18.34 crore voters at more than 2.15 lakh polling stations. We are also looking forward to welcoming 25 lakh new voters in these states who will cast their votes for the first time. Keeping the ever-dynamic situation in view, the Commission has issued stringent guidelines to be followed by all political parties and candidates. We also have emphasized upon increasing the pace of vaccination in the poll-bound states. All arrangements will be made to ensure that this election is absolutely COVID safe. I take this opportunity to welcome and call upon the voters of 5 states where elections are underway and urge them to participate in these elections as enthusiastically as they have always done. The voters are the true heroes and icons for the Election Commission of India. Your presence at the polling stations strengthens democracy and makes the country proud. I again extend my heartiest congratulations and best wishes to every citizen of the country on the occasion of National Voters' Day. Jai Hind.
Thoram pareng singi saruk ama oina Civil Election Commissioner ECI na taraganitoy suba National Voters Day irwengana miyam da piba pausel miyam puna minyeng taminagre.
Now we have distribution of electors' photo identity card. Electors' photo identity card EPIC and badges will be presented to the newly enrolled voters by the chief guest of honors, and the president of today's function.
Masagi chahi taraganipan suduna nongna voter chalaba miwe singda badges amasung electoral photo identity card ikai kum nazariba ngasigidai sa lengsin biriba dignitaries singna khusina bigani.
I request Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, to kindly present the badges and the electors' photo identity card to the newly enrolled voters. Catherine Ahong Sangbam, Yumnam Sanathoy Singh, and Sanjembam Irik, please come forward on the stage. I request Catherine Ahong Sangbam, Yumnam Sanathoy Singh, and Sanjembam Irik to please come forward on the stage. And the award will be present, and the EPIC card will be presented by Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. I request everyone to please give a big round of applause.
Mathangda Nikes Moirang Them, Faroism Sital, Lingsin Birakani Stesta, Nikes Moirang Them, Faroism Sital,
And the award will be presented, and the EPIC card will be presented by Sri Rajesh Agarwal, IAS Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur.
Faroism Sitalgi, Mathangda, Yaisna Sanjenbam, Dalina Ningombam, Laishram Pinky Devi, Laishram Doli Devi. Hairiba Miwe Sing Sisu, Stage ta lingsin birak na ba noluk na ning singjari.
Yaishna Sanjinbam, Dalina Ningombam, and Laishram Pinky Devi and Laishram Dolly Devi, please come forward on the stage. For Yaishna Sanjimbam, the epic card will be presented by Sri P. Dongal, IPS, Director General of Police, Government of Manipur. Laishram Pinky Devi, please come forward. And last but not least, we have Laishram Dolly Devi. Laishram Dolly Devi, also please kindly get ready. Thank you so much.
Thagachari Pundamakpu.
It's over, sir.
Thagachari
No, sir. Not right now. Yeah. Not right now.
Daista Lingsin Biriba Ngasigi Chief Guest amasung Guest of Honor Singbo Nong na voter chalaba Mi oy singda epikat khushin na bigbigi damakta Mathangi thoram hoina thamjari Systematic Voter Education and Electoral Participation SIFGI State Icon Singbo Ikai Kumna Utpagi Thoram Maduni.
Now it's time to felicitate our systematic voters, education and electoral participation sweep state icons. I request Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, to please kindly come forward for the presentation. Okay. So our state icons are Mrs. Adafro Sylvia, Mrs. Iowa 2017, and social media influencer. Please come up on the stage. I request Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS Chief Secretary, to please kindly felicitate Mrs. Adafro Sylvia, Mrs. Iowa 2017, and social media influencer. Please, sir. Next, we have Mr. AJ Maisnam, Manipuri singer and social media influencer. I request Mr. AJ Maisnam to please kindly come forward. And I request Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, and our dignitaries to please present the felicitation of SEEP state icons. Next, I request Robert Naurim, face and icon and social media influencer, to please come forward. I request Robert Naurim, fashion icon and social media influencer. And Robert Naurim will be felicitated by 3P Dongle, IPS, Director General of Police, Government of Manipur. I request Ms. Teresa Varte, singer and social media influencer, to please kindly come forward. Ms. Teresa Varte, singer and social media influencer, will be felicitated by our guest of honor, Sri Letkojin Haukip, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Next, we have Ms. Mandakini, folk singer. I request everyone to please give a big round of applause for our sweep state icons. Ms. Mandakini, well-known folk singer of Manipur, to please kindly come forward on the stage. Ms. Mandakini, singer, well-known singer of Manipur, to please kindly come forward. And Ms. Mandakini will be felicitated by our guest of honor, Sri Pauluntang Vaifei, IAS, Additional Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur.
Thank you.
State icon sing felicitate topikre state icon sing adudi Mr. AZ Haisnam, Manipuri singer and social media influencer. Robert Naurem, fashion icon and social media influencer. Mrs. Rosie Haisnam, folk singer. Mrs. Teresa Varte, singer and social media influencer. Luenga na Mrs. Mandakini, singer. Thagachari Pumdamakpu. Makha satharakpa oina SIF campaign ki matangda ethical voting PWD amasung video screening video launch toba punamit yang amuk taminasi.
not sure which candidate to vote for? Wish to know more about your candidates? Would knowing your candidate's details and criminal history help you make an informed choice? Well, we have just the solution. The Election Commission of India has developed a mobile application to help you know your candidates better. The KYC or Know Your Candidate app is a dedicated mobile application containing information published by candidates during nomination regarding their personal details and criminal antecedents. With this app, voters can now access information about their candidates easily, right from their mobile phones. Voters can use the KYC app to view all candidates who filled nomination, check status of nomination, filed, accepted, rejected, withdrawn, search candidate by name, view candidates' details, view candidates' criminal antecedents, view candidates' counter affidavit, if any. Download the KYC app today to learn more about your candidates.
Karigumba election nga mari lenana unethical oiba mawongda paisa achathak yenba lauba thengnabirabadi madu civil act ki khuthangda photograph natraga video lauduna report tawbiu maduga loinana karigumba model code of conduct thugaiba intimidation ki han khanganba thengnabirabadi civil act ki khuthangda report tawbiu Adomna report to matamda adomgi maming matha lepham na chingba asi anonymous haibadi khanghandana thamba yabagi kudong chaba su leijakani ngasimag civil app download tawbiu unethical election practice thingbada saruk yabiu amasung free and fair election pangthokpada saruk yaminasi
Democracy dadi mi amaga khetnaba leite mi ama vote hadaba amadi lebak ki lengak sembada saruk yanaba Bharat Sanvidhana chap manaba hak ase miyoi khudingmakta piri people with disabilities haibadi hakchangi fibam mimanadraba singi oinasu hak ase chap manana piri ai isabak isai sakpi amani amasung PWD voter amasuni Election Commission of India na PWD voter singna mikhal da saruk yaba yanaba facilities kaya amasu simbiri polling station da rem sabiba visually challenge oiraba singidamak braille yauba EVM amadi guide phanghanba wheelchair thambiba polling station da volunteer sing simbiba amadi queue da kuina sangna leptanabagidamak khudongchaba kayama simbiri election su kuidre aishu hanagumna vote thada jagani adom su ngasimak voter lista ming chansinbiduna sungsoi soidana vote thada biu PWD singdasu aina haizari adom gi mamal yamlaba vote lemna manghanbiganu election amadi lengak sembada soidana saruk yaminasi I am ready. Are you? Nire gama pare kare nire sa.
Ishema, Ishema yum lay bigadra. I maru paisa lau lake tau jaba.
Adongi se wrong number oibiba male somna tawbirai sidi voter helpline 1950 ne.
Yeah. Hai ma. So ne dudia. I di Ishema bi molani na tawrini. Oh adongi helpline hai se karamoma teng oidoino.
Sigi helpline number sida voter service amasung election ga mari lainaba akupa marol sing phangbiba yagan.
Hai ma. Oh, I should not have the calamine. I see my tone. Lohong was a ta a home mari pareba. Ado I give me say Kamina, I give Nupa Mayungi, polling station the wonder no say calamine. Ado di Kamina, Tawone, Adugi Matang do that.
Yani I harake.
Voter list of Mingano Chanba, Mingtiba, Service Mdokpa, Lekam Hongba, Amadi, Atofa voter service, Amasung election Gamari Lainaba, Akupa Marol Gidamak, voter helpline number 1950. Ngasimak phone to biro.
Ado kainom ta hangja hoge. Kangan maru kadi yawning draw.
Citizens of India, having abiding faith in democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and dignity of free, fair and peaceful elections, and to vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by religion, race, caste, community or any inducement.
There you
Systematic voters education and electoral participation SIF campaign gi matangda ethical voting amasong video screening gi video launch tawduna mayam punai khoi mityeng taminakhre thagachari.
Moving ahead, we have distributions of Certificate of Appreciation. Certificate of Appreciation to District Election Officer, Star DEO, for exemplary performance in the special summary revision of Photo Electoral Rule 2022 will be presented by Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, and the chief guest of today's function. And the award will be presented to Dr. Shri T.H. Kiran Kumar, Imphal West District. Next, we have Raj Kumar Mayang Lambam for Chandel District. And third, we have Pawan Yadav for Churachandpur District. I request Shri T.H. Kiran Kumar, Imphal West District, to please kindly come forward on the stage. Please, sir.
Makhoigi thabak thoram kaya singbu singtharaduna award khusinhaduna ikai khumnaba utnamabagi dugumlaba mikupadu logzage lengsin biraksi TH Kiran Kumar, Ras Kumar Mayang Lambam amasung Pawan Yadav ahanba oina stage ta lengsin biraksi.
Next, I request Shri Raj Kumar Mayang Lambam, Chandel District, to please kindly come forward. Next, we have Mr. Pawan Yadav, but Mr. Pawan Yadav is not here right now, so I request Mr. Dharun Kumar to please kindly collect the appreciation certificate for Mr. Pawan Yadav. Please, sir. Next, we have the Certificate of Appreciation to Electoral Registration Officer, Star ERO, for exemplary performance in the special summary revision of Photo Electoral Rule 2022. First, we have Mr. Elangbam Amuthoy Khanganba for 3 Kurai Assembly Constituency. Next, we have Mr. Samson Huidrom for 19 Patsoy Assembly Constituency. Mamoni Doli for 26 Bishnupur Assembly Constituency. We have Angom Sizalembi Chanu for 30 Lilong Assembly Constituency. Fifth, we have Kumukcham Renuka for 34 Wangjing Tentha Assembly Constituency. Sixth, we have Darun Kumar for 58 Churachandpur Assembly Constituency. Next, we have Mr. Samson Huidrom for 19 Patsoy Assembly Constituency. Next, we have Mamoni Doli for 26 Bishnupur Assembly Constituency. Next, we have Angom Sijadembi Chanu for 30 Lilong Assembly Constituency. Next, we have Kumukcham Renuka for 34 Wangjing Tenta Assembly Constituency. We have Mr. Darun Kumar for 58 Churachandpur Assembly Constituency.
Thagachari. Mathang Sidi Special Summary Revision of Photo Electoral Roll Englishing Ani Kungani Twegi Exemplary Performance Pangkraba Boot Level Officer Singh Amuk Koksing Jage Kai Kundam Unanabagi Damakta
Lalthal Kimi Silo for 58 Churachandpur Assembly Constituency. Aimon Daimai for 52 Tamai Assembly Constituency. Nongmai Kapam Langamba Maitai for 5 Thongju Assembly Constituency. Oinam Sanjukta Devi for 53 Tamenglong Assembly Constituency. Lun Kim Nemjanai Kongsai for 47 Karong Assembly Constituency. For Leisangthem Sunita Devi for 9 Thangmaiban Assembly Constituency. I request Lalthal Kimi Silo, 58 Churachandpur Assembly Constituency, the booth level officer, to please kindly come forward on the stage.
Lengsin Biraksi 58 Churachandpur Assembly Constituency gi Lalthal Kimi Silo.
I request Sri N. Langamba Maitai, BLO, 5 Thongju Assembly Constituency, to please kindly come forward. I request Oinam Sanjukta Devi for 53 Tamenglong Assembly Constituency to please come forward. Oinam Sanjukta Devi, 53 Tamenglong Assembly Constituency. Next we have Lun Kim Nemjanai Kongsai for 47 Karong Assembly Constituency. For 9 Thangmaiban Assembly Constituency, we have for 47 Karong Assembly Constituency, we have Lun Kim Nemjanai Kongsai. For 9 Thangmaiban Assembly Constituency, we have Leisangthem Sunita Devi.
Thagachari, Booth Level Officer Singh, Makasatharak po ay na Assembly Constituency Singi, BLO Booth Level Officer Singh po appreciate to bagi, adugumlaba, tanjahadu mulawzage, ahan mo ay na Kauksinjari, Kunrakpam Assembly Constituency dagi, TH Khamba, Ani Subada Hangang Assembly Constituency Dagi, H Thoiba Maitay, Ahum Subada Kurai Assembly Constituency Dagi, Mohammed Riyakat Ali, Ketrigaon Assembly Constituency Dagi, and Vogendro, Thongzue Assembly Constituency Dagi, Nungmaykapam Langamba Maitay, Kairaw Assembly Constituency, Muhammad Ibo Chauba, Andro Assembly Constituency, Muhammad Hidayatullah Khan, Lamlai Assembly Constituency Dagi, Langbal Jau Kabui, Tamgaban Assembly Constituency Dagi, Eni Arnil, Luengena Uripok Assembly Constituency Dagi, H. Priyo Bertasing, Hairiba, but level officer Singsi Ahanba Oina, Ekoi Stesta, Lengsin Birak Naba, Noluk Chari.
Kundrakum Assembly Constituency, we have TH Khamba. Second, we have for Hengang Assembly Constituency, we have H. Thoiba Maitay. For Kurai Assembly Constituency, we have MD Riyakat Ali. For Ketrigao Assembly Constituency, we have N. Bogendro. For Thongju Assembly Constituency, we have Nomaykapam Langamba Maitay. For Kairao Assembly Constituency, we have MD Bochauba. For Andro Assembly Constituency, we have MD Hidayatullah Khan. For Lamlai Assembly Constituency, we have Langbal Jau Kabui. For Thangmeiban Assembly Constituency, we have Annie Anil. For Uripok Assembly Constituency, we have H. Priyoberter Singh.
Makha sa Thazarakpo Oina sa Gulbal Assembly Constituency, Mazaguilu Maringmay. Kaisamtong Assembly Constituency, Kuraizam Himad Singh, Singzamay Assembly Constituency, and now Chauba Devi. Yai School Assembly Constituency, and Ibo Chauba Singh, Wangkai Assembly Constituency, Manoj Kumar Gupta. Segmay Assembly Constituency, Angom Ingocha Singh, Lamsang Assembly Constituency, Kulem Surjakanta Singh, Kwantogzam Assembly Constituency, K. Bo Singh, Pasoy Assembly Constituency, Naurem Ajit Singh, Amasung Langtabal Assembly Constituency, and Ibemcha Devi. Makhatarap po oina, kausinjari.
For Sagolban Assembly Constituency, we have Mazaguilu Maringmay. For Kaisamtong Assembly Constituency, we have Kuraijam Himad Singh. For Singjamay Assembly Constituency, we have N. Chauba Devi. For Yai School Assembly Constituency, we have N. Ibochauba Singh. For Wangkai Assembly Constituency, we have Manoj Kumar Gupta. For Sekmai SC, we have Angom Ingocha Singh. For Lamsang Assembly Constituency, we have Kulem Surjakanta Singh. For Kontaujam Assembly Constituency, we have K. Bose Singh. For Patsoy Assembly Constituency, we have Naurem Ajit Singh. For Langtabal Assembly Constituency, we have N. Ibemcha Devi. Wangoi Lowbray. Wangoi 22 the lane.
Sequence to my. Mathangda Noria Pakanglakpa Assembly Constituency gi S. Bizenti Devi, Mayang Imphal Assembly Constituency Fairoism Nile Singh, Nambol Assembly Constituency T.A. Santakumar Singh, Oinam Assembly Constituency L. Bimola Devi, Bishnupur Assembly Constituency O. Ranjana Devi, Moirang Assembly Constituency Neruda Begum, Mathangda Thanga Assembly Constituency Binodini Devi, Kumbi Assembly Constituency Kangembam Joy Kumari Devi, Luenga na Linglong Assembly Constituency Muhammad Savir Ahmad. Mathang sit na lang birak na ba no lukchari? Photo Electoral Roll Ilising Ani Kungani Twegi Special Summary Revision da Adumlaba Achoba Todang Kayaya Duna Makwigi Tabak Torum Singbu Sing Tabo Oina Hozi Hozimak but level officer Singda Certificate of Appreciation Yantopagi Toramadui Quakanazat Hazari Tinbidi Bamaya Puna Makna Puling Togot Bibo Oina Ahobo Kubak Kuminasi State level ballot battle quiz ki winner sing winner oibikraba adugumlaba ikai khumnajariba mioising aikoi prize lawbinanabgidamakta sem sabinaba nolukchari.
For the first prize, we have Rajkumari Olivia Devi and Rajkumari Iswar Chandra of Lota Christian Model High School, LCM, Moirang.
Thagachari Assembly Constituency Singi Booth Level Officer Singh. Thank you. Matang City State Level Ballot Battle Quiz ki winner Singh. Matang Manaw Naina Mukok Sinjage Prize la winner Bagidamakta.
For the first prize, we have Rajkumari Olivia Devi and Rajkumari Iswar Chandra from Lota Christian Model High School, LCM, Moirang. For the second prize, we have Masungam John Raikhan and Ayush Katwal from Mount Everest Higher Secondary School. And for the third prize, we have MD Aras Ahmad and Muhammad Hibzur Rahman of EK Higher Secondary School. Thank you so much to the state level ballot battle quiz winners. And next we have Certificate of Appreciation to Creative Communication Partner of Chief Electoral Officer Manipur, Fluorescence Communications Private Limited, New Delhi, for their commendable service and support in carrying out sweep program. I request Mr. Prahlad to please kindly come forward on the stage. And I request our chief guest of today's function, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, to please kindly present their word.
Thagachari Fluorescent Communication Private Limited, New Delhi.
Now we have our state icons are arriving just now, so have arrived just now. So I request Ms. Manka and Mrs. Rosie Haisnam to please come forward for the felicitation.
State Icon Award Kidamakta Amukahana Koksinjari, Ms. Manka amasung Mrs. Rosie Haisnam.
And our state icons will be felicitated by the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. And I also would like to request Sri P. Dongal, IPS, Director General of Police, Government of Manipur, to please kindly present to please kindly felicitate our state icons.
Lengsin Bidokliba State Icon Ani Miss Manka amasung Mrs. Rosie Haisnabda Icon State Icon Award si felicitate to winabagidamagda noluk chari nga sige Chief Guest Dr. Rajesh Kumar IAS Chief Secretary Government of Manipur luenga na Sri P. Daungel IPS Director General of Police Government of Manipur Thagachari.
Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite our respected Chief Guest, Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, to kindly deliver a speech on the occasion. Please, sir.
A very good morning to all those who are participating in today's 12th National Voter Day celebrations, not only in this hall, but at all polling stations and at other places through TV and webcasting. My friends and brothers, Sri P. Dongel, DGP Manipur, Pu Letkogen Hokip, Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, Pu Paulun Thangwa Fei, Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, Pu V. Wunlun Mang, Additional Chief Secretary Manipur, my namesake and younger brother, Sri Rajesh Agrawal, Chief Electoral Officer, government officers, secretaries, commissioners, senior police officers, participants, awardees, my brothers and sisters from media, and each and every citizens of Manipur, and more importantly, the electors who are going to cast their valuable vote in selecting the new members of Assembly very soon on 27th February and 3rd March. I greet all and everyone on this 12th National Voters' Day. My congratulations to all the award winners. As the CEO Manipur had said, we have 20,34,966 voters, out of which 9,85,119 are male and 10,49,639 are females. The electoral population ratio has improved by 2% to 57.7 from 55.7%. The gender ratio is remarkable, it's 1065. We have 2959 polling stations and electoral districts are 11. As the Chief Election Commissioner of India, as well as my friend CEO had informed earlier, the framers of our constitution set up by the election commissions as an independent and constitutional body on a day before the birth of the Republic of India is truly reflective of what the framers of constitution and the government of the day wanted. They wanted the country to remain democratic, and there should be an independent body like Election Commission of India to conduct the elections to the Lok Sabha, Assemblies and other bodies. The entire electoral process, beginning with the preparation of electoral roll, concluding with the declaration of election result, is very, very complex in such a huge democracy. We are having a population of almost now 140 crore in India, and you can imagine the number of voters we have got. But the credibility of Indian electoral system is globally known. The world knows that how seamlessly we carry out our election processes despite all the odds and constraints. We reach everywhere, every nook and corner, try to reach out to every voter and bring them to the polling station or through other means to make them exercise their voting rights. I need not emphasize on the importance of adult franchise. To have a government, we need to elect our representative either to the Lok Sabha or to the Assembly, and then it is our decision which will decide that what kind of government we will have for the next 5 years. And in this context, it is our responsibility to be very, very careful in exercising our votes and selecting a right candidate. The Election Commission of India has carried out many reforms, like you all saw the C-Vigil app. It is our duty as a responsible citizen to inform the election machinery of any malpractice or inducement or where there is a model code of conduct being violated. The more we are proactive, the more we are open, the more we are alert, we'll have better government, better people elected. Voter education is very important in this context, and I am very proud to say that our Chief Electoral Officer and his team and the district machinery and the block machineries and everybody is geared up, fully trained, and our voters have been educated by multiple means. In fact, I feel very privileged to be in Manipur as a Chief Secretary. It's a highly educated society, very, very active. The participation into electoral process has been always good. What I will appeal to one and everyone that please cast your vote very carefully. Do not get swayed by any inducements. Let us have a free and fair election. Let us elect the best people possible. Let us have the best government, because government will decide the development and economy and the prosperity of state, and also will ensure a peaceful coexistence of multiple tribes, and ethnic diversity of the state should be maintained. There should be complete harmony between each and everyone. COVID is affecting us. The number of COVID cases are going up in last 10 days, and it's bound to increase a little bit more, because as we know, the third wave had just begun in the country. Cities like Delhi and Mumbai are seeing now constant fall for last 3-4 days, but places like Karnataka, Kerala, the numbers are on the rise. But the good news, like today morning, the overall numbers have gone down drastically in the country. I have a hunch that in Manipur also, in next 15 to 20 days, we will perhaps have the peak and it will flatten out. In fact, the prediction of the research institutions is that we may have peak in the first week of March, but the way things are progressing, it may happen sometimes in middle of February also, but we should be ready for all the eventualities. Now, I will like to appeal through this forum that every elector and every citizen should come forward and get the first dose of Covishield if they have not taken, and the ones who are due for second dose should also come forward. The vaccine is very, very safe. The country has already given 163 crore shots till yesterday. And every day, 40 lakh, 50 lakhs, 80 lakh shots are given depending on the intensity of the vaccination program and people's cooperation. Manipur should lead from front. I would appeal to our people, especially in the hill districts, to come forward and cooperate with our vaccination teams. We have multiplied the number of teams to many fold. In fact, we are looking at 50 to 70,000 shots per day if possible, so that in next 15 days, at least one shot is given to every elector. I personally am running after each and every officer of the state to mobilize the social workers, the religious leaders, the people who are involved in the chain of vaccination exercise, the ASHAs, the ANMs and Anganwadi workers. Everybody is going to reach your doorstep or the polling station or the school wherever feasible. Please come out in groups and take the vaccine. It's my most humble appeal. We have seen the damage caused by the COVID second wave last year. It's now proved that the ones who have taken vaccines have less effect. The morbidity is low, the deaths are very minimal. Every life is precious. The way we said every vote is precious, every life is precious. I would really urge upon everyone to please to please cooperate with our vaccination teams in every nook and corner of the state, and let us try to give at least one shot to every eligible person by, say, 10th or 15th of February. And the ones who are due for second dose, please come forward. There are people who are above 60 years with comorbidities. I will appeal to them, please take a precautionary dose. We should also be leading in the Northeast, at least the age group 15 to 18. In next 10 days, we should try to go 90% and beyond vaccination. Once we are vaccinated, the third wave may not affect it much. And I hope and pray after third wave, the virus becomes weak and we don't have this kind of wave coming in future, because we need to work, we need to open school, we need to interact, we need to lead normal life. And for that, it is really required from all of us to take COVID head on, fight and extinguish the virus as soon as possible, so that in near future it becomes endemic and confined to small pockets and does not affect our lives, our health, our economy, our social life, our growth and prosperity. With these words, I'll conclude. I'll once again appeal that let's come out in large number, exercise our voting rights, let's vote in a free, fair manner, let's not be induced by temptations, let's cast honestly our votes, and again, once again, I'll appeal that let's cooperate with the vaccination process, and next 10-15 days time, let's vaccinate as many possible as we can do. I wish all the best to every citizen of Manipur, every elector of Manipur. Let's hope we will get a very good government with your voting rights, with your votes, and take Manipur on the path of peace, prosperity, and development. I wish all of you a very good day, a very productive election period, a very good election result, and a COVID-free Manipur, and a Manipur which will go on path of development, prosperity, peace, and growth. I once again wish everyone all the best. I thank my colleagues, and let's prepare for the election and vaccination both together. Koramjari, Thagachari, and I should say, we should make Sana Laibak true Sana Laibak. Thank you very much.
Singthaningai oiraba wafam kaya thambirambagidamag thagachari Dr. Rajesh Kumar, IAS Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur. Thank you, sir, for your remarkable speech.
Last but not least, I would like to call upon Shri S. Daulat Khan, MCS, Joint Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, to kindly give the vote of thanks.
Thagaduba role thambinabagidamag nolukna gosingjari. Joint Chief Electoral Officer, Government of Manipur, Sri S. Daulat Khan.
Respected Chief Guest, Sir Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, Sri P. Dongel, Director General of Police, Manipur, Sri Lekhoging Haukep, Additional Chief Secretary, Sri Palunthang Wi-Fi, Additional Chief Secretary, Sri Ulmungang, Additional Chief Secretary, Sri Rajesh Agarwal, CEO Manipur, distinguished invitees, star awardees, state nodal officers, state icons, booth level officers, students, first-time voters, our creative agency partner, Tamo Prahlad, Tamo Suresh and team, KhutSem team, all officials from CEO's office, our media fraternity, and all those who have joined us in today's National Voter Day celebration online at the field in districts and the polling station locations. A very good morning to all of you. It's indeed my privilege to extend deepest gratitude to all of you on behalf of Chief Electoral Officer's Office. Sir, by sparing your most valued time here, we are recommitting ourselves to strengthen the beautiful credentials, democratic credentials of our country. Together, we are making a very clear statement that we commit ourselves to make these upcoming elections inclusive, accessible, and participative, completely in tune with this year's NVD theme, that is inclusive, accessible, and participative election. So, and further, our collective efforts towards the mandate that Election Commission of India has given us, no voter to be left behind. We are trying to reach out to each and every voters, house to house, through multiple mediums, not only by physical visiting by the BLOs, but also through multiple mediums like print and electronic media, hoardings, and also the most important weapon these days, that is social media. We are trying to connect with them and enlighten them on all electoral processes and to include them in the ambit of electoral process in all the time to come. We are reaching out not only to the voters but also to the future voters so that the future voters, as and when they get eligible for becoming a voter, they can get themselves enrolled as a voter. Sir, you will be happy to know that our booth level officers who have been awarded today and other booth level officers who are at the polling station locations celebrating this National Voters' Day have actively participated in COVID vaccination process. They have been actively involved in motivating the voters in their respective polling stations areas. In fact, the electoral roll have become one of the most important referral document for enlisting or for knowing what is the COVID vaccinated status, sir. I would like to extend my heartiest gratitude to Sir Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Chief Secretary, for sparing his most valuable time for today's function and sharing us his enlightening thoughts. So we are also highly thankful to you for ensuring that all the assured minimum facilities to be provided in all polling stations have been intensified, the process has been intensified, and it has been provided well in place before the polls. So we are also thankful to you for the active role that you have taken up to ensure that we have a COVID-safe elections. Heartiest gratitude also to Sir P. Dongwell, Director General of Police, Manipur, Sir Letkogin Haukeb, Additional Chief Secretary, Sir Paulanthang Wi-Fi, Additional Chief Secretary, Sir Ulmun Mang, Additional Chief Secretary, Sir Rajesh Agarwal, CEO Manipur, for sparing their valuable time for this function, sir. Our CEO, Sir Rajesh Agarwal, has been personally monitoring all this preparedness towards the upcoming elections, and we are committed to have a COVID-safe, free, fair, peaceful, inclusive, accessible, and participative election, sir. Lot of thanks also to our additional CEO, all the distinguished invitees who are here, our media partners, Mr. Suresh and his team, KhutSem team, all students, first-time voters, all officials from CEO's office, and all those again who are watching us live at the polling stations locations across all the polling stations, that is 2,959 polling stations, and at the district headquarters at all DO offices, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri S. Daulat Khan, MCS, Joint Chief Electoral Officer, Manipur, for delivering the vote of thanks. With this, we have come to the end of the celebration of the 12th National Voters' Day 2022. I thank one and all for making the function a grand success. Thank you all.
Making elections inclusive, accessible, and participative haiba timgi makada, Chief Electoral Officer, Government of Manipur na sinjalangdaduna pangtukchariba, Darag-nitoy Shuba National Voters Day, Inglising ani kun ganitoy gitoram matanga sida Lucian Jere. Taramasibo sa rugyaba lakpikiba kway na magpo amukahana tagatjari.
High tea for special invitees have been arranged on the left side of the hall, so I request our special invitees to please have the high tea. And the refreshment for the students and others will be arranged outside the hall, so I request everyone to please have the light refreshment.
VIP sing amasung atay dignitary singi light refreshment ke koi arrangement hall asigi awang thangba saita ay koi sinjalang jaraga thamjare amasung saruk yapa lakpikiba koi namak marwaina sai sing tay to pai chalai naw singina hall sigi mapada
all I ever wanted is to have my voice heard. I've been singing this one song as I go along this line. I ain't feeling jaded, but I'm stepping forward. Here I am, ready to vote, and there you are, ready to join. Come on, let's walk hand in hand. Power of 18, it's something for you and for me. Power of 18, it's something you ought to know. The power of 18, it's all about my rights. Power of 18, it's all about you and me. Oh, and I have got what it takes now.
The citizens of India, having abiding faith in democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and dignity of free, fair, and peaceful elections, and to vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by religion, race, caste, community, or any inducement.